So welcome back now here from the so-called European Square of Austria, of Vienna. It's a nice square in the center of town. It's a beautiful place, maybe not so much, but it's the European Square. I show you in a moment. I'm here now. This is the Western Station, the former main station of Vienna. And it's beautiful, renovated in the center. And it's the European Square. There's a playground and a school. It's the belt, the area. It's quite busy. Austria is booming. And now let me make some statements that we have a European Square, but unfortunately the spirit of Europe is lost in Austria. And that's very concerning. And I'm really very sorry. Where is the European Austria we were working for in the 90s? And we were also enthusiastic to join the European Union and to really believe in the European spirit and of unification, of openness, of common prosperity all over Europe. Unfortunately, since 2014 and especially since 2018, that's completely lost. Yeah? It's gone. It's unfortunately, it must be somewhere. We just have to find it again. But unfortunately, in our government circles, the spirit is absolutely evaporated. And you know, whenever the Chancellor is saying he is a young dynamic man of a new generation, that's not the new generation I want to belong to, and that's not the European generation. If that's Europe, I don't like it. The Austrian foreign policy, the Austrian European policy is only about closing borders, protectionism, against Mercosur, against enlargement of Schengen, against Romania, Bulgaria and Croatia in Schengen, against Kosovo EU candidate status, against Ukraine, Moldova, Georgia getting a EU candidate future, a potential candidate status. It's against NATO, it's against America, it's against everything what we should do, actually. But they are going to Russia regularly to make great energy deals, supporting Nord Stream 2, the pipeline of war, treason and complicity with Putin's crimes, and so on and so on. Promoting Ukrainian neutrality, basically everything you could do, they get wrong. There is not a single topic where you can talk about the European Austria. And I went to the square today. Despite it's a bit loud, it's a bit of an experiment in my video making, if that's understandable and somehow you can listen to it. But it's my frustration with this lack of a European Austria in my Austria where I come from. And I know a lot of people really believe in openness, in Europe, in unification. If they would know more about Kosovo, Bosnia and Ukraine, they would also support it more. A lot of Ukrainians, Bosnians, Kosovo live in the city and they love it. It's a great place to be, yeah? But it's unfortunately not the European Austria we were all planning and hoping and aspiring for in the 90s. Now when I come back, I see all this kind of protectionism, this kind of anti-free trade philosophy, this kind of closing borders in every reason. It's not only in the corona, it was already before in the migration crisis, it's also when it comes to all the other aspects. Whenever there is anything which is possible to do to close a border, then it's closed. That you can be sure about it. Yeah? And I think they would even militarize the border if they would be allowed. Yeah? It's totally out of proportion and it's so wrong. I cannot explain how wrong it is. Yeah? And this must change. We must find some kind of European spirit again, where we really believe in unity, where we believe in openness, and where we believe also in the European project again. And I hope that will be happening in the future. So that's my news from the European Square here in the center of Vienna. I am looking for the European Austria. I will make a number of such videos at maybe less busy places than this, in the search of the European Austria, of low taxation, openness towards Eastern Europe, inclusiveness, of Austria which wants to join NATO, aware of its past, ready to take responsibility in a united Europe. And this Austria I will investigate in the coming weeks. I will try to find out where it is. I have not given up the hope it is somewhere, and I will try to promote this kind of European Austria. And at least there is a square in the center of the town. Look at it. It's not the most beautiful square. They could have found a nicer one than just the main traffic arterias of Vienna. But at least it's the gate to the west, so there is some symbolism West is there. The openness towards Brussels could be symbolized with this kind of square, the gate to Europe, but unfortunately it is neglected, and maybe a symbol for the neglectance of the European spirit of Austria. But I'm confident somewhere it is, and I will investigate, I will find it, and I will call often for European Austria and for a different Austria than we face today in 2021. So, best regards, all the best, and if you find the European Austria, let me know. It must be somewhere. Bye.